Good morning, folks, and welcome to another edition of City Hall Live. I am Joe Abeta, and we have a great show for you today. Later on, we're going to be talking to Kamaju Tadfor. He's having the Fiesta Fella that's going to be happening, or Fiesta Fella that's going to be happening this weekend at the rail yard. But first, we have a distinguished guest. We have two distinguished guests. We have the County Treasurer, Patrick Varela, and Eric Lujan. Eric, you're the Assistant County Treasurer, right?
Chief Deputy.
Chief Deputy. Okay. Well, welcome, guys. Thanks for coming on. We appreciate it.
Thank you for inviting.
I know that you guys a busy time of the year is coming up. You guys are going to be mailing out your property taxes, right?
Correct.
So why property taxes? What do they do? What is it that we're getting from paying property taxes? I think starting from the beginning as to why they pay would probably be a good start.
Okay. Well, about 90% of what we collect goes back into the schools.
Okay.
Not only the public schools, it goes to the charter schools. It also goes into the community college. Not only Santa Fe, because Santa Fe County is so big, we fall into different school districts. So we distribute into Espanola School District, Moriarty, Edgewood. So all the money goes into those districts.
So has it always been kind of like, was it a law or something that went into effect that said, hey, from property taxes, we are going to be taking care of our schools? Is that kind of the...
Yeah, it's a statute.
That's the reason for the...
Yeah, it gets put into that. And then, of course, we have to pay our own operational debt and our other debts debt services, which we have, like bonds that we have to pay for.
Gotcha.
So that goes into that. We also pay into the city municipal debt and also operational debt.
Gotcha. So I mean, when essentially when you're paying your property taxes, you really are it goes directly into taking care of things, primarily the schools and education and the structures and programs and stuff that we have in the schools.
Correct.
So it's a good thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it pays for that. It also goes into our senior care centers that we have, the county senior centers. We have a lunch program that gets, we deliver to seniors that can't go to the senior centers. So it's a meal program, so it benefits them as well.
That's great. That's great. So you're going to be mailing them out. Is there anything new that folks need to know this year that's happening as opposed to last year?
Yeah, last year, because there's a lot of charter districts that have been coming into effect. So through legislation, we have to pay a certain amount to each charter school. So last year we ran out of lines in our bill, and we didn't know until the last minute.
Oh,
and
wow.
So we had to have a line item that said additional taxes, and it caused a little bit of confusion.
Gotcha.
But I had to prepare all my staff to be prepared to answer these questions, what it was. But basically, the bill got so big that we ran out of lines. So this year, it's a bigger tax bill. It's longer.
Okay.
It has 3 coupons instead of 2. So it has a first half, a second half, and it has the opportunity to pay the full amount.
Okay.
So that's different, and it's more transparency, so you can see each line item that's getting paid for, because what we pay here in the city could be different in El Dorado or in Pojoaque. So it's just transparency basically, and the public like that. They want to know, just like you ask, where is my money going to?
Yeah, no, exactly. And you know, I notice that sometimes people's mortgages nowadays their property taxes are already rolled into them, right? And they get taken care of from their mortgage company, or I don't know who takes care of that. I get a tax bill, but it's usually taken care of already.
We send out a tax bill, but it says this is the bill. It says on the bottom that your mortgage company has
taken care of it. Yeah.
A mortgage escrow is kind of funny. It's kind of like a bank. It sounds like they're doing a service for you, but they collect all these monies from all these people.
Yeah.
They bank it, they reinvest it, they get a lot of interest off of it, and then they pay your taxes. Then they pay your taxes. So it's not really a free thing. They bank on it actually. Big bucks.
I can imagine. There's a reason why they do it, right?
Yeah.
So any special discounts, or like for veterans, things like that that can apply to the tax bill?
Well, there's no like discounts, but there is veteran exemptions.
Yes, veteran exemptions. I'm sorry, that's what I meant, not discounts. Yeah.
They get $4,000 off the value of their property.
Okay.
And of course, 100% they pay no taxes at all.
Yeah.
So we'd work with that. There's also a senior discount. What that does is it freezes your at a certain age and a certain dollar amount that they make.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, it'll freeze their value.
So
It won't,
give
it won't freeze the taxes, but it'll freeze the value, so the value will never go up.
it'll never go up,
Yeah.
and essentially, if you're on a fixed income, it helps you out.
Yeah.
Those seniors that are out there on a fixed income, it
Yeah.
helps them stay consistent with.
Pretty much, unless there's a bond or something that comes up,
But-
they still have to pay that, but the value will never go up.
Gotcha, like an education bond or something
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
I gotcha.
Or some kind of a special project, with what they call a PID, which is a project improvement district. Let's say something to do in that area, it'll go
Gotcha,
up.
gotcha. Okay, so when will the tax bills be, or is there anything else new on the tax bill people should be expecting?
There's also a little cutout reminder that people have asked for, and actually one of my staff thought of the idea about doing these cutouts so you can put them like on your calendar and your refrigerator. That's just a reminder. It says this is when the first half is due, this is when the second half is due.
Oh, that's
there's
good.
a little cutout on there. It helps.
Yeah, no,
It's
no.
just a little idea. That
No,
some
absolutely.
people like it. Yeah.
It does, and if and I'm sure because you guys have great staff over there. If there's anybody that ever has, maybe something might have happened where they can't make that second one, or they might need to say, hey, listen, we need some help here. Can you extend our date a little bit? They can go in there maybe and ask. Is that a possibility, or is it?
Actually,
Communication's always good, right?
it
In the
is very
situation.
good. Yeah, my staff is very well
Yeah.
educated on not only on property tax, and
Yeah.
they're educated in delinquency, and they're also pretty much, some of them are educated on the investment part too.
Okay.
But I do extend the office hours till 6 during the rush,
Oh, okay, that's great.
all the way till December 15th, I believe it's a
Oh,
Friday.
wow.
Yeah, so we'll be open till 6, just so
Okay.
people that are on the south side, they can still have time to drive.
Drive over from work
'Cause
or
a lot of
whatever.
people rather come in
Yeah,
person.
I
so
gotcha.
I extend the hours.
So,
Then I have the outreach also.
okay, yeah, and so do you have so staff outreach? Let's talk about outreach. What do we have?
Outreach, I actually designed that the first year I was in office, and that wasn't
Okay.
really my idea. When I went campaigning, I asked a lot of people what they wanted to see. One of them was like, well, I like to be able to pay my bill without having to look for a parking place for hours. And,
Yeah.
So, I thought about it. I was like, well, there needs to be a way that we can, with the technology nowadays. So I made basically I designed the outreach program where we take the office to the people.
Oh, wow.
So if they want to see something live, it's right there. It's right on our computer. We have little Wi-Fi's that we connect to
Yeah.
the internet, and
Yeah.
we can go into our office and pull out their tax bills, what they're looking at, their delinquencies, anything on there. We can pull a service right there and print it for them.
So do you guys have these dates down as to when you're going to be in
Yes.
specific
I'll
areas?
let Eric go over that.
Okay.
Yeah.
The outreach program is going to start on November 7th,
Okay.
and we're going to run it from till December 16th at different locations. Even we work with the city of Santa Fe as well to utilize the Mary Esther Senior Center, and
Yeah.
that's probably one of our biggest.
It's really popular.
Okay.
Because
It seems
we
like it would be.
accommodate the seniors there, and they get bussed in from different locations
Yeah.
all over town to that specific center. So they're well aware of it, and what's good, the city advertises it in the senior little brochure they send
Yeah.
out monthly.
Yeah.
And
what it
we're
is,
all over the county, representative of all 5 commission districts, and from Edgewood to all the way to Espanola to Chimayo, Pojoaque, right here in the city, Edgewood, like I said, El Dorado, Galisteo, and Glorieta.
Glorieta.
And so we accommodate, and that the treasurer is, in fact, the first treasurer in the history of the state to create and actually enact an outreach program. And other counties are following suit now, but not as, I think, as good as his program. And then he goes personally. So you don't just see one of our staffers, you just see myself and of course the treasurer. We're there, and people can talk to us if there's problems, there's issues. Like you brought up delinquency. We're accommodating that way, and he has an open door policy, so it doesn't matter. You don't have to have an appointment to see us. If you're coming into the office, we accommodate an open door policy.
Yeah, and you get more than just a voice on the phone or whatever. If you want to come down, you guys have that you'll be able to talk to a friendly face.
Absolutely.
Someone that understands and that's understanding and knowledgeable in helping you out with whatever issue you may have, right, when you go in.
Absolutely.
Which nowadays, man, it's tough to find something like that. It just, you feel like you're just a number. And, it's always good to feel like, you're being taken care of, or your mother's taken care of. Or a loved one, if you will, not just your,
Absolutely.
not just
Yeah,
your mom, your dad too, right?
Tío,
Dad's always,
somebody, yeah.
dad's always gets the short end of the stick.
Your tío, your
But
tío.
exactly. So, okay, so you'll have, where can people find these dates here for the outreach dates? Online?
We have it online.
Okay.
It's publicized in several publications all over the county. We have the New Mexican who has it in there. Round the Roundhouse will carry it.
Okay.
Green Fire Times.
Rio
The
Grande
Sun,
Sun.
the Rio Grande Sun, the Independent in Edgewood will have
Okay.
it.
Okay.
Keswabe Radio will be airing it.
Okay.
Yeah, so they'll be all over the place.
Different places.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. That's great. That's great. So, okay. So this will be going on till December
16th.
60.
December 16th. Anything else, guys, that we're missing?
Well, now, because we're also the bank, so
Okay.
there's been a lot of action that's been going on in the global.
Yeah,
with
yeah.
banking. There's the BRICS. It was a huge thing.
Yeah.
And then the Wells Fargo fiasco that happened a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
Well, we get a lot of phone calls with people concerned or emails.
They're wondering about
It's
it.
like, are you doing business with Wells Fargo? And I have to reassure them that we do local. We'd like to infuse our money back into Santa
Yeah,
Fe County
yeah.
as much as we can. So we just like to assure people that their investments, I'm in charge of all the investments, and it doesn't get outsourced to anybody else. I do it myself. It saves the county money because a lot of financial advisors charge an arm and a leg. To me, it's not rocket science, but to others, they think it is rocket science to do investments because we do it to basically it's cash management for cash flow to
Yeah.
meet the needs. So
Yeah.
it's easy for me to do it, and I now because I'm the chairman for all the treasurers in the city of Mexico. So I've been for the state. I'm sorry, yeah, and I've been educating them now, so they're seeing a better perspective because they're using FA's financial advisors to do their
Gotcha.
yeah.
It's the healthiest portfolio in the state of New Mexico. We're outperforming the state treasurer's LGIP. And as the treasurer alluded to, Wells Fargo, so we're constantly getting emails and I respond to them. We do not do business with Wells Fargo. The treasurer has, since he came into office, has said that Santa Fe, the community is his number one resource, and that's what we're going to utilize, and that's what he has done. So to assure the taxpayers, especially those, there is a watchdog
Yeah.
part of Santa Fe that is interested in banking, and they want to create a local bank, so on and so forth. And he's been a part of a couple of those panels, but to assure that the taxpayers or even the constituents, we do not do business with Wells Fargo Bank.
Yeah. And it's really looking at taking care of the people's money in the best way and the safest way, right? I mean,
Exactly. Yeah. There's
that's what comes-
there's three principles. It's liquidity. Let's see, liquidity, yield, and safety.
Okay.
Safety is the first one, so it's always safety. Safety is the one to look at, but there's also legality. We have to follow what the state statutes outline for us.
Gotcha.
So we can, we have to invest within those criterias. And there's some rogue ones that will try and chase yield, and they'll say, "Well, I'm going to invest in this junk bond because I can make
Yeah.
more about it." Well,
Yeah.
you're gambling really with taxpayer money.
Yeah. And so is that a whole, is that like a throughout the year type of thing that you're doing that? You're having a,
Oh, I invest every day.
Every day?
Someday I watch it. I had inherited several long-term bonds that were up to 30 years, which exceeded our investment policy. And there was some concern about it. There was different times, but throughout for the past 4 years, I was able to sell those ones, not at a loss, but at a gain,
Oh, that's
and
good.
bring them back into our safety window, which is 0 to 5 years right now. We also enacted several legislations to help us, which Senator Nancy Rodriguez was really influential in that one. It's SB 56, which allows not only treasurers but municipalities to invest in brokered CDs and CDRs, which perform better than the regular CD that you would get at a bank, but they're still insured through FDIC at $250,000. So you never exceed that $250,000 threshold.
wow. So, I mean, it sounds to me that the money is being taken care of very well. Have you guys won any awards, man? It seems like you guys would, man. You guys seem like an award-winning
I don't think
office,
there's
man.
really an awards for that, but you
Yeah.
don't really do it for the award.
Yeah,
I'm looking at the window right there.
yeah,
I
you
see
do
a
it
lot of
today.
awards, but
I think those are just memorabilia,
Or
brother.
whatever
That's
they are,
okay.
but
yeah.
I look at that and-
But still, it's just it's good to know, man, that the treasurer's office, you can go in there, you have great staff, and if people request to see you guys will be, there's a face to that, and people can definitely expect that. So I mean, that's always a good thing, to feel like your family, or feel like you're everyone's an important community member when they walk into that office, and I think that's very important.
absolutely. And there's sometimes just some errors that fall through the cracks. There could be as simple as a zip code number, and it goes into the clerk's office. From the clerk, it goes to the assessor's office, and
Yeah.
then from the assessor, it goes to my office. And they're like, well, I haven't gotten a bill, or these numbers don't seem right, and it could be an error. And sometimes they come in really aggravated, I would,
Yeah.
going into seeing, well, I'm not going to pay this big amount. Well, it turns out it's a small error, and so they walk away, happy that they
Yeah,
got,
and
they
you can
got
you can
something.
explain
Yeah,
it too.
Yeah.
Exactly. So, well, I want to thank you guys for coming on.
Thank you.
Are we missing
you,
anything? I was just making sure.
Well, just to remind the voters, early voting started, and there are some major bonds that
Okay.
we need for road improvements and
Okay.
different facility improvements
Yeah.
throughout the county.
Okay. So just get out there and vote, folks.
Get out there and support those
And
bonds.
it's busy right now.
Yeah, no,
at the courthouse.
It's busy at the
I
courthouse.
can imagine, but do it now rather than
Do it
later.
now,
Right now,
yeah.
I remember that a couple of years ago, with that voting for the presidential vote was long lines. Like people were waiting 3 or 4 hours to
And
vote.
that's what we're seeing now.
Yeah, so you need to get out there and vote. So definitely, real quick, the dates for outreach. There'll be you can go to SantaFeCounty.gov. Is that right? And,
Treasurers.
and go to the treasurer's office /treasurers.
Treasurers.
/treasurers, and you'll go right to their page, and you can check it out, or you can just Google
Call the office.
Santa Fe
Call the-
County. Yeah,
yeah.
what's the office number?
986-6245.
Right on. There you go. Great.
And just so I make a note of it, the outreach program, we're there from 10:30 to 1 at each
All right,
location.
10:30 to 1.
Yeah,
All right,
yeah.
great. Good. Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much for coming on.
Thank you, Joe.
Thank you.
Okay, no problem. Folks, we'll be right back.